Good morning, everybody. My name is Krisha, and I'm going to be taking over today's Bitcoin analysis video. Now, I am not going to be coming on camera, unfortunately, because, well, it's like 6:30 in the morning here, and honestly, I look beat as F right now. I'm sure you can complete that for me. But, yeah, I've been up since 5, not getting any sleep, so I said, hey, what the hell? Let me do a quick Bitcoin analysis video. Yeah, that's how, like, freaking boring life can be sometimes at 5:30 in the morning, but hey, what the hell? I think Bitcoin keeps it quite interesting for us, like it has done this morning as well. So what exactly are we going to be talking about? Well, there are a couple of things that I wanted to cover in that today we closed, well, a daily candle, duh, a 2-day candle, and did we close a 3-day today? I believe we closed a 3-day today as well. So I want to go over all 3 of the candle closes, in addition to a much larger pattern that is playing out on the weekly that everyone's been eyeing, and they've actually been drawing parallels to a pattern that was also playing during the bear market. And I want to talk about this to see, okay, if this indeed does play out, where are we in relation to the overall pattern? What level do we need to break in order to break the pattern to the upside or the downside? So yeah, if this is something that you might find interesting, keep watching. This just in, Bitcoin doing what Bitcoin does best, screwing with everyone. But no, for real, though, it's been screwing with everyone's emotions. I mean, just look at that freaking girthy, daily, red freaking candle. Like, that's deadly, man. What happened yesterday? I mean, there was like panic. And I could see like my screen flashing, and it was unreal because I honestly, guys, I literally just got up in the morning. You know, I walked into Sean's room to wish him good morning. And the first thing he says to me, he's like, Krisha, come here. He's like, check this out. He's like, watch Bitcoin go all the way up to 8,800, tap into that level, tap into the liquidity over there, and dump. I'm like, yeah, well, good morning to you too, but I'm sure that's gonna, I don't know whether that's gonna happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but Bitcoin is looking strong, so we'll see how it all plays out throughout the day. And guys, I kid you not, in the time that it took me to go walk into the kitchen, make myself a cup of coffee, make myself some toast, and get back to my laptop, it actually did it. Like, we went all the way up to 8,800, tapped into the level there, and dumped. And what was important about that dump was that the 8,500 level that we were holding 24 hours before then, we lost that level on the dump. Now, why was that an important level? Here's why that was an important level, and I go over this in my previous video where I say that, hey guys, Bitcoin is looking strong. We've tapped into the 8,700 level, and now I think the next major line of support is going to be at 8,500, and that held true for about a day. I'm gonna go on to my 4-hour chart only so you can see the price action that took place for that day. Right? That was a day and 16 hours, but we held that 8,500 and we held well. But yesterday, what happened, our tap into the 8,800 and the consequential dump led us to losing that 8,500 level. And that was important because from my last video, I told you, for me to see continuation back to the 8,200 level, I want to see us lose the 8,500 first. And that's what we did. We lost the 8,500, and then throughout the day, we just trudged all the way down, and we're sort of in that 8,200 range right now, and we're tapping into that. So, but right now, guys, what needs to be noted is that on the bigger picture, Bitcoin is still very much oscillating between the zones that we have been discussing over the past couple of weeks, which is the 8,700, the 8,200, and the 7,700. And I'm going to keep regurgitating this for as long as I can, so it kind of, it sort of reinforces these levels in your heads, so you know exactly kind of what's happening on a much broader scale. So BTC right now is pretty much in that 8,200 range. And what else do we have? Well, today we closed not just a daily, but we closed a 2-day candle as well as a 4-day candle. Now in my introduction I said we had closed a 3-day candle, but no, we did not close a 3-day candle. We did close a 4-day candle though, so we're going to go over those two. So let's start with the 2-day chart now, because something interesting happened there. Now what had I highlighted in my last video was that 8500 range, that breaking that and closing above 8500 meant that we just took back the 2-day cloud. But guys, with today's close, we gave back the cloud. Look at this. We took it back when I last did my video, right? We closed above, and in fact price was very much still in the cloud on the new candle. But with what happened yesterday on yesterday's dump, we lost that 8500 level and we came all the way back down to 8200 and closed in this range. We have officially lost the 2-day cloud, so that no longer holds right now, and we're not seeing that edge to edge, at least not anytime soon. So that's on the 2-day. What do we have on the 4-day? What did we have on the 4-day? So in my last video I said this level here, the 8500, now you can see it. I've highlighted. Let me just clear my chart. Let me get things into focus. I am sorry, I am drowsy. It's like super early, so I'm just gonna apologize for any things that I miss out today. So yeah, this was the yellow line, the yellow horizontal that I have here is the 8500 level, right? So if I just kind of tell you what was going on that 8500 level. So that 8500 level was important because it was 2-day cloud resistance, which we lost, right? We just went over that. Let me just kind of reinforce that again. Sorry if I'm being redundant, but just so you can kind of see what it is that I am talking about. It was the 2-day cloud resistance that we took back, right, on the previous 2-day candle, but we closed below now. We have lost that cloud on just this past 2-day close. So we are no longer in the cloud, in the 2-day cloud. What else was the 8500 level? The 8500 level was also the 3-day cloud resistance. So let's pan over to our 3-day cloud. Now it was 3-day cloud resistance. We did take it back on the last 3-day candle. However, we are very much underneath that cloud, the 3-day cloud. But note that the 3-day candle hasn't closed yet. We close a 3-day candle tomorrow. We have not closed the 3-day candle yet. But what we did close though was the 4-day candle. Now this is something I didn't see in my last video, in that this 4-day, the 8500 level on the 4-day chart is actually, guys, it is actually the 55 EMA. Do you see that there? This green, neon green line here is the 55 EMA, and that is in line with the 8500 level. Do you see that? So that 8500 level was sort of support from the 1-day all the way to the 1 week. So this is the 4-day chart. This is the 4-day, the 5500 level was the 4-day 55 EMA resistance. Now the weekly, on the weekly, it was the weekly Kijun. Now you see it here. Let me just put on my cloud so it kind of, I can bring that into focus. But let me do that. Do you see that? Do you see that red line there? That's the Kijun. I'm going to put on my drawing tools. There we go. Right there, smack at 8500. So that was a huge level that we lost. Now the 4-day, like I said, so the 2-day, we lost the cloud on that level, right? We closed underneath, so we lost the cloud. And that was a major level that we were playing off of. Now the 4-day, we just closed a 4-day candle. What did we lose there? Well, we lost the 55 EMA, right? We tapped into that and we lost. We didn't hold it there. We did not hold it there. And yeah, so that is still very much resistance on the 85. So it's basically now support turned resistance overhead. So now the major zone that we're looking at for Bitcoin in its on a more granular scale, well, is on top to overhead resistance is at 8500, and underneath support is at 8200. Now there are a couple more things that I want to cover on the daily chart. Now if you just put on your mango ribbon, and by the way, for those of you who do not have the mango ribbon and who want access to it, you can just shoot Sean a PM. You can shoot Sean or me a PM on the Telegram chat, and we will grant you access to the mango ribbon. It is completely free. So yeah, just if this is something that you may want to add to your kind of indicator arsenal, just message, either just PM one of us on Telegram. No problem at all. So yeah, So if you just put on your mango ribbon, and I'm just going to kind of modify this only to show the 55 EMA, the 21 EMA, and the 10 simple moving average. Alright, so let's show my EMAs. I'm going to say I want the 21, I want the 55, and I believe the white is the 10 simple moving average. So this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. Now, from my last video, I said, hey guys, we did get rejected off of the 21 EMA. By the way, I did my video on, I believe October 9th, or sorry, no, October 10th. Anyways, we did get rejected off the 21 EMA in my last video, and however, I said that we did take back the 10 simple moving average. Now, in the dump from yesterday, yes, we gave back all that we gained in that one nice beautiful candle right there on October 9th. However, we did not give back the 10 simple moving average. Bitcoin on its daily chart is still living above the 10 simple moving average. We still have that in our control. Bitcoin has not lost the 10 simple moving average, and I think that is something to note. So yeah, we may very well kind of just, I think it's going to be a squeeze right now between the 21 and the 10. So it's going to be very interesting to watch price action kind of play out in this range right now. So like I said, the range that we're looking at is the 8,500 overhead and the 8,200 level underneath us. And in terms of EMAs, we're looking at the 21 EMA above us, as well as the 10 simple moving average that is smack underneath us right now. And we are looking to get supported on that. Like, I would think that, you know, Bitcoin still has a decent chance if we manage to hold that 10 simple moving average, and if we can like kind of almost trudge up with that. So honestly, time will tell right now, but these are the levels that are at play, and these are the levels that we kind of need to take note of. Now, what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Yeah, so I want to talk to you about the next kind of major candle closes and what we ought to be looking out for. Now, so I think the next major candle close is going to be the weekly candle close, right? And now for this one, I want to put on my cloud. So what level do we really need to take back for the weekly to start looking strong again? And once again, it's going to be that 8,500 level. And why is it that 8,500 level? Well, we went over this. Remember, I have it all kind of written here. If you guys want to kind of take a note of that, then go ahead and do that. Right now, what we need to note is that the weekly Kijun is sitting at the 8,500 level. So in order for Bitcoin to start looking good again on the weekly chart, we're looking for essentially this candle here, this weekly candle here, to take back the 8,500 level. If Bitcoin is able to do that, I think that would render us a really, really strong candle. In that, if we close above the 8,500, we may very well see a C-span trade, right? A C-span trade, by the way, is a trade where we see price trend from the Kijun, which is the red line right here at 8,500, all the way up to the Tenkin, which is the blue line right here, right? Sorry, let me just bring my screen into focus. The Kijun right here, let me just kind of clear my drawing tools, the red line, all the way up to the Tenkin, which is the blue line overhead. If a C-span trade does happen, we're going to see price trend from here all the way up to the Tenkin, which is sitting at 10,640-ish, approximately. So yeah, we want to see, we're looking for a strong weekly close, we want to see price take back the 8,500 level. Alright, and another thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is, now this one was very, very interesting. Now, you guys know how much I love patterns. Like, I am queen of patterns. I swear to God, I can see them everywhere. So anyways, what I wanted to talk to you guys about was that a lot of people are drawing parallels to the price action in this range right here, right? This nice big descending triangle that everyone's been watching. It's broken down. Now we're hovering. They're drawing parallels of this price action all the way to what happened in Bitcoin's bear market. They're saying that this is very similar, just on a much smaller scale, of what happened in Bitcoin's bear, where it formed a descending triangle only to break down. Now, everyone's anticipating this, and now this is what they're watching. Now, this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. So, they're looking at actually a descending wedge. So a lot of times, now Sean and I had a discussion about this in terms of patterns. A lot of times you'll see patterns formulating, and you'll also see a break. You'll see a consequential break with volume. However, the patterns don't usually meet their measured move. And what ends up happening is that the pattern morphs into a different pattern. And that is something similar to what we saw in the Bitcoin bear market, right? In that everyone was looking at a descending triangle. So everyone was looking at this descending triangle which is it is a bearish formation. On a technical standpoint, the descending triangle is a bearish formation, and the measured move is from the head all the way to the base of the triangle, and you essentially take that, you bring it down to the break of the triangle, and that will give you a measured move. Like, that looks freaking ridiculous. Okay, that looks freaking ridiculous. Imagine that happening. That was basically telling us that Bitcoin was going to go all the way down to $558. Yeah, that would have been freaking nice. In hindsight, of course. But no, Bitcoin did not do that, of course. But instead, what happened was that, well, we trudged all the way down, we hovered in the zone only to make a push back up. So what people are beginning to say now, like, no one said it back then. This is the first time I'm hearing about this pattern that everyone's been watching, and people have been drawing parallels too. I'm like, no one spoke about this pattern playing out on when we were in the bear market. But this is what they're looking at. They're looking at this trend line, and they're essentially saying that descending triangle morphed into a descending channel. Right? So they're saying that this trend line was still in play, and they were looking at this, the lower trend line that sort of completes that descending channel, right? They were looking at this as a descending channel. Now, they said that is what the Bitcoin's large descending triangle, morphed into. The large descending triangle morphed into a large descending channel, which had a consequential break on April 1st, 2019, which was earlier this year. And the measured move, I believe, we hit only to have further continuation to the upside. There we go. So we hit that measured move, which was about this wick right here. We saw like a small rejection there, only to have further continuation to the upside, right? So now people are essentially drawing parallels to what happened in Bitcoin's bear market to what is happening now. However, they're saying that it's happening at a much smaller scale. And I think that was pretty I think it's an interesting observation, because honestly, the resemblance is sort of uncanny sometimes if you really have to look at it and sort of give it some thought. So this is what they're looking at. They're looking at, well, a descending triangle, right? We were all watching this descending triangle that Bitcoin was forming, and the measured move for this descending triangle should have taken us down to 5,236. But no, we have not gotten there, not yet. Instead, we broke down. Yes, we broke down with sufficient volume, right, to back up that break, and we've started sort of ranging over here from that 8,700 all the way to the 7,700 range, right? And now people are saying that, hey, it's something similar to what happened in Bitcoin's bear market, in that we broke down from that large descending triangle only to morph into a descending channel. And now this is the descending channel that everyone is looking at. And honestly, it's not bad. It's not a bad sort of analysis. It's not a bad way to look at it. Now, it's just interesting, and I'm quite curious to see how this plays out. And I think this is definitely something that maybe, we should sort of keep our eyes out on to see how this sort of plays out. So what would be the measured move for this channel? Let's check that out. So yeah, if this channel does play out, and if we do in fact break to the upside, by the way, a descending channel on a technical standpoint is a bullish pattern. It is a bullish pattern. So if this one breaks up, the measured move, well, let's just assume that it breaks up on November 7th. The measured move for this would be at, boom, 11,350. But yeah, this is what I have for you guys today in terms of the levels. So let's get back into that. So we're still looking now at the 8,500 level right overhead, which we lost yesterday. We held it for about 24 hours, but in yesterday's dump, all the way up from 8,800. We did lose the 8,500 level, only to come and smack back down at the 8,200 level. So these are the two major levels that Bitcoin is ranging within right now. And we want to see if we hold these levels. Bear in mind that Bitcoin has not lost. We have not lost the daily 10 simple moving average. We have not lost it. And there we go, 8,700, 8,200, and 8,700, 8,500, and 8,200. We have not lost the 10 simple moving average. This is the information that we have in front of us. There's a much larger pattern possibly at play, which is a descending channel. So yeah, this is the descending channel that everyone's looking at. They're looking at breaking certain levels. If we take back the 8,500 level in the next, say, 48 hours, we officially close a weekly over the 8,500 level, which means we take back the Kijun on the weekly chart. It is going to be a bullish close. That is what we're looking for on the weekly break, on the weekly close, sorry. So yeah, with this information, guys, yeah, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, guys.